Mm-hmm. Won't you be mine? Just like you. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dum. Dee-dum. Won't you be my neighbor? La, 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 la. Please won't you be my neighbor? Like many of you, I looked out my front window the other day and saw a new blue recycling bin. And I was surprised because after all these years, the city finally came through. We're here at 21 Pegram Street to talk to Greta Narn and see what she thinks about these new blue recycle bins. Greta, you recognize this?
Oh, yes, indeed I do.
What's the difference between the old one and the new one?
Big difference. You carry much more in this, and so we can recycle. This gets really heavy, and as a woman, I couldn't carry it. And when there was water, this thing got really slushy. The holes in there, and I would have a drip.
You're right. That happened to me too.
Yeah.
Logan Pepper, your neighbor, your news, and your neighborhood. Thanks, Greta.
Oh, you're so welcome.
How's your family?
They're doing fine. Thank you for asking. Are you excited about tomorrow, Mr. Pepper? You going to tell us the news? Who you going to choose?
That's a big story, and a good newsman never reveals a source. So I'm sorry I can't say anything about that.
Aww.
And I've got a text message here I got to check if you'll hang on a second. The video is going to be posted to the net real quick, so go tell your family and your friends that they can see it on the net.
Thank you. I will. I'm the first to know.
Thanks again, Greta.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Today is going to be a very, very busy news day. We're here at Holmes Run at the foot of Pegram Street. We came down to check the water levels because, as you all know, it rained pretty hard last week and we wanted to see if the creek had risen. He's just purchased some new racing tires for this car, and we're here to talk with him about how they're handling this weather. It's sunny now, but there's going to be storms, serious storms next week.
Well, they do pretty great in this kind of weather. They're all-weather tires.
Please drive slow. You're my neighbors, and I want you to be safe. They give you any other problems?
Actually, really, the only other problems I have with this is the speed bumps up the street, and they can tear these tires up.
Molly, these speed bumps have been installed recently, and I'm wondering if you've noticed any change in the way people drive here on Pegram Street.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I heard lots of other people have the problem too.
Yeah, that's right.
I was on the committee to bring them to Pegram Street.
You want to stand still for a second so I can talk to you?
Of course.
Okay. How was school today, Felicity?
We have so many children who walk in our neighborhood. It's a walking neighborhood.
Was there a really good thing that happened to you today?
I can't remember.
And it really has made everyone feel safer.
Yeah, you like school?
Of course.
You do? Do you have a nice teacher?
Of course.
Oh, you're glad they're here.
Very glad.
There's one happy student. This is Logan Pepper, your neighbor, your news, and your neighborhood. You heard that, neighbors. April's got all the stuff you need if you've got kids who need clothes and food and books and everything else. This is Logan Pepper, your neighbor, your news, and your neighborhood. I want to thank you all for coming to help me celebrate my 65th birthday and my retirement from the news broadcast. There's certain people I would like to thank specifically. I'd like to thank Mom and Pop for putting me up in the spare room and putting up with me in the house. I couldn't have done it without them. I want to thank all you neighbors here on Pegram Street for participating in the newscasts and for tuning in to view the product. And finally, I want to thank my professors at Syracuse University and the TV radio school. They got me started in this business, but they are not responsible for anything that I've ever done. I know you have all been curious about who I would pick to take over the newscast when I retired. And I've given that an awful lot of thought. And I've come up with somebody that you all know. He grew up here in the neighborhood of Pegram Street for a number of years now. He's been my cameraman and he's done a really good job, and I know that he'll continue to do a good job on the Pegram Street newscast. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you Peter Grouse.
Hey, Peter! Yeah, okay. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
Congratulations, Peter. And we've got a little present here for you to get you started.
Oh,
Your very own bicycle helmet.
yeah.
That's the way we work on the Pegram Street News. We ride around the neighborhood. Well, I'm really glad that you're going to take over for me, and I know you'll do a really good job, and I'd like you to close out my career and begin your career by winding up this newscast, okay?
Well, all right, yeah. Thanks, Logan. Thanks.
Oh.
Well, okay, here I go. For YouNews, I'm Peter Grouse. Your neighbor, your news, your neighborhood. But before anyone goes anywhere, Logan, we have one more gift for you. It's kind of a little trip down memory lane. So here goes. Roll it.
We're headed back to Pegram Street. I got a phone call from a neighbor. I'm here at 23 Pegram Street. I stopped to talk to a couple of fellow bike riders. How's your bike ride been going?
It's been really good.
That there's a fire in a pile of leaves at 39 Pegram Street where April is having a yard sale. Tell me about the yard sale. I was hitching my way back because my bike's in the shop. It blew a tire, and this kind young gentleman stopped to pick me up. Earlier today, there was a little girl sitting right here selling lemonade.
On this gorgeous day, sell everything for $1.
Everything for $1?
Yes.
And I'm hoping we're going to make it back. I called the fire department and told them that there was the fire. And then the city came along and asked her if she had a permit. I hope I can get there in time to at least see the flames. And she couldn't say she did, so they shut her down. And there is one sad little girl. You two are identical twins, right?
Yes, we are.
And I want you to tune in next week because I'm doing a series on automobile safety. How do people tell you apart? Driving responsibly, and so far we've been able to do that. Even though we've been pushing the limits. You heard that, neighbors? April's got all the stuff you need if you've got kids who need clothes and food and books and everything else. This is Logan Pepper, your neighbor, your news, and your neighborhood. Oh, this is hard. Let's just look at it one more time. Okay?
Well, all right, yeah. Thanks, Logan. Hey, thanks.
Oh.
Well, okay, here I go. For YouNews, I'm Peter Grouse. Your neighbor, your news, your neighborhood.
What you looking at, Mom?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Seriously, what you looking at? Let me see what it is.
And crashed into this ornamental Bedford pear. The driver, one Pat Dorning, is not seriously injured, but is disoriented and cannot tell us what neighborhood he belongs to. The paramedics are examining him right now, and the police will arrive shortly to investigate. Once again, it's me, Peter Grouse, here on the scene at 608 North Pegram Street, where, in what is the story of the decade, this green GMC Sonoma has rolled up on the curb. Logan Pepper warned us about this last week in his report on slick roads. The driver, one Pat Dorning, is not seriously injured.
Mom, hand me the phone. Mom, hand me the phone.
Thank you for calling the Goodwin House Retirement Community. How can I help you?
We're live here on the 8th floor of the Goodwin House. I want to thank all my Pegram Street neighbors for all the years that they helped me with my newscasts and for all the time that they tuned in to see the broadcasts. But I'm in a new location now. I'm in the Goodwin House. And it's a beautiful place and I'm really enjoying myself. I'm looking forward to lunch because it's cream chip beef and I really love that stuff. There's so many things to do here. There's movie night, there's exercise classes, and there's something called Mexican dominoes. I've never heard of Mexican dominoes. If anybody out there can tell me, Mom, I'm doing a newscast here. If anybody out there can tell me what Mexican dominoes is, stop me in the hall and fill me in. I'd appreciate it. Well, this is Logan Pepper, your new neighbor, bringing you the news from my new neighborhood. I'd appreciate it, Mom, if you paid attention in the future, because we're going to be shooting a lot of newscasts here in the apartment, and we can't keep doing additional takes because you've walked into a shot. And I'd appreciate it if you tell Pop the same thing. Now, we may not always shoot from here, like we may shoot from the lunchroom and the dining room, and we might shoot from the game room. We may even shoot from outside, but most of the time we're going to be shooting in here. So please pay attention and watch out. I'll try and let you know when we're going to shoot so you don't mess up my shot, okay? I would appreciate it, and I think the viewers would appreciate it too. Good. Well,